Carmela, I learned something really embarrassing this week.
Oh, gosh, that's tough.
I know. I've been pronouncing the names of Greek wines incorrectly.
Oh, my God, you
I
are pronouncing something incorrectly?
I know, and not just a little incorrectly, but like a lot incorrectly.
Ooh.
So this week we're going to learn about an important Greek wine. We're going to learn how to pronounce it, and most importantly, we're going to find out if it's worth buying.
Well, it's all Greek to me.
Hello and welcome to the Wine Pair Podcast. I'm Joe, your sommelier of reasonably priced wine, and this is my wife and my wine pairing partner in crime, Carmela.
Hi there.
And we are the Wine Pair.
Woo.
So if you are new to our podcast, here is a quick orientation. Each week we explore a different wine varietal or blend like Pinot Noir or Bordeaux or Agiorgitiko, and dive into what makes it unique, special, and worth learning about, like me. So our goal is to help you...
Wait, learning about you? Okay.
Our goal is to help you expand your wine knowledge in a fun way that normal people can understand, and we also taste and review 2 to 3 wines, depending on how I feel, that are under $20 each, and we share our scores and our recommendations to help you find great wines without breaking the bank.
Nice.
So thank you very much for joining us, and we are proud to say that Decanter Magazine calls us fun, irreverent,
Chatty,
and entertaining. Well, Carmela, it's been a while since we've done a couple of things.
Give it to me.
Okay, so first, it's been a minute since we have done a WTF episode. This is a WTF episode, which stands for What the... And we love doing these episodes because we generally get to try a wine that we don't know much about, and then we see what the dealio is, and if we should add it to our list of go-to wines.
Nice.
Yeah, and even better, we get to see if it's a wine we should explore if and when we travel to that country that that wine is from.
Are you hinting at a next trip, like on the horizon?
Hint, hint.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe we'll go to Greece someday.
I'd love to. You've never been to Greece.
I've never been to Greece. I've seen the musical, but I've never been.
Wow, pretty different.
Yeah, I think so.
You'd be surprised.
I think so. Okay, so the other thing that we haven't done for a while is talk about Greek wines. So we did an episode way back in March 2 years ago on wines to drink at a Greek restaurant.
I remember.
I know.
I love Greek food.
I know. Me too. But since then, we've only done one other Greek wine in our 128 previous episodes.
Oh, wow.
And so that's a real travesty, and it's something we need to fix. Because you know, Carmela, they've been making wine in Greece, and I don't mean the musical, I mean the country, for a long time.
I mean, maybe both.
Yeah, but yes, they've been making wine there for 6,500 years. That's even longer than I've been alive.
Wait.
Yes.
Are you sure? Did you do the math?
I did the math.
I don't know.
And so because they're making, yeah, that was mean. And because they're making, you snorted.
I did.
And because they're making some pretty good, but pretty underrated and underappreciated wines in Greece, we thought, hey, it's about damn time that we did another episode on Greek wine. Am I right?
I mean, you are always right. That's for sure.
Okay, it's on tape, ladies and gentlemen, tape. And we actually are not using tape, but they still use the word tape. And
True.
so it's on tape.
But does everybody understand that that's listening?
Not the hip new kids.
Right,
They don't know.
Right.
Anyway.
They're like, tape?
Tape? What are you talking about? There are, Carmela, there are several Greek wines that are worthy of spending time on, by the way. And there's one in particular called Xinomavro. It starts with an X, but it's Xinomavro.
I was imagining that.
And I'm kind of obsessed with it.
Wait, the wine or the name?
No, both. But it's supposed to be Greece's answer to Barolo. And our daughter actually bought me one time. And I didn't think it was that great. But it's hard to find. It's not super inexpensive.
So why are you obsessed with it?
Because it's supposed to be the Greece version of Barolo.
Barolo, okay.
But instead, this week we're going to be tasting and reviewing the great Greek wine known as Agiorgitiko. And again, I am embarrassed and ashamed to admit that I've been saying it as Agiorgitiko.
But wait, who have you been saying it to?
Everybody, just everyone.
What do you mean?
I go walk around every day. I walk around.
I was going to say, I bet you haven't even. I've never even heard you say that out loud in your brain.
Yes, we have, because we have tried Agiorgitiko wine before. in the Greek episode, in the rosé episode.
Ooh, don't go back and listen,
No,
people.
because I said Agiorgitiko, and I'm surprised that no smarty Alec was like, hey, you pronounced it wrong.
How would you take that?
I would be pissed.
No, you would.
I would be so. I am such
such
a corrector.
That's why I kind of crack up about it. But the thing is that I think you can take constructive criticism.
Oh, sometimes. Okay,
you're right. Sometimes.
Last night we had a conversation. I wasn't taking any constructive criticism.
You didn't even want any feedback.
You did actually. You did really nice, and you were like, "I should have asked you if you want me to give you feedback."
Yeah, and I asked
that
you,
was
and
really
then you were
mature.
kind of like, "Wow," because I'm so immature. Good for me. Good for me to be growing up here.
Okay, can we keep going?
Yeah.
Okay, Agiorgitiko is sometimes compared to Sangiovese or Merlot. But we'll talk about that more in a little bit.
Okay.
Because I want to spend a couple of minutes on the Greek wine industry, because part of what we want to do, Carmela, in our podcast is educate you.
I knew that was coming.
You knew it, right?
That's great. That's a good thing.
That is a good thing. Lifelong learners, people. We used to be teachers. We still want to teach.
We can't, get away from it.
No, you can't turn it off.
You're not supposed to.
No, you can't turn it off.
Right.
Okay, although they've been making wine in Greece for a long-ass time, and that's a technical term, long-ass time, their reputation for winemaking in the modern age has been a little spotty. And that's probably why we don't hear a lot about
everything in
Greek
Greece
wines.
is ancient anyway.
That's true.
I mean, what does it matter?
That's true. But while they have really, I'm going to go back to the wine now. Okay. While they've really started to come into their own over the past 20 years or so, Greece is only about the 19th or so largest producer of wine in the world. For example, they make more wine in China, in New Zealand, in Romania, in Brazil, and in the country of Georgia.
My goodness.
So it's time for Greece to step up a little.
Wow. I wonder what their deal is.
I don't know.
They don't drink a lot of wine, I guess.
No, they do. That's the thing. They do. But they're not a huge country. But anyway, there are over 1,200 wineries in Greece today, and that number has been increasing for years. And what's really cool, I think, about wine production in Greece is that they really focus on indigenous grape varieties. In fact, did you know, Carmela, that 90% of the wine grapes grown in Greece are native to Greece?
Very cool.
And I don't mean the musical.
I know, and it is spelled differently, so I'm not confusing them, I promise.
Good, even though you don't have the script.
Right.
But that is facts. That's facts right there.
Just give me the facts.
Yeah, and it's not alternative facts. Those are real facts.
Ah, nice.
Now, outside of Mavro and Agiorgitiko, the largest wine grape production is actually for a white wine grape known as Savatiano, which I'm probably also pronouncing wrong. But anyway.
Sounds good to me.
I guess so, but the biggest wine is white. Anyway, Greek wines are starting to be recognized as pretty good, and they are supposed to go well not only with Greek foods, but with Mediterranean foods in general, which shouldn't be a huge surprise since Greece is in the Mediterranean. But Greek wines are generally described as acidic, tannic, with good minerality, which is kind of the types of wines that you and I tend to like. But maybe the biggest thing that's standing in the way of us being more familiar with Greek wines is that they're hard to pronounce.
I guess so. I guess so.
Yeah, because I would say Agiorgitiko, but it's Agiorgitiko.
And you don't want to look dumb or ignorant.
Ignorant.
Is that really why?
Is what really why?
Why we don't drink those wines? Because you don't know how to pronounce.
That's why. And I think in general. I wasn't just talking about us.
Oh,
I was talking about
people
in the world. I don't know. I'm making stuff up.
Okay,
I don't know.
Okay, just curious.
Okay, so we think Greek wines are a definite must-learn, at least a must-learn. And today we have 2 Agiorgitiko wines that we're going to try and tell you if we think that either of them are worth seeking out. But first,
you got to do our shameless plug.
That's right. So thank you for listening to us. And thank you, Carmela, for listening and for supporting our show. And if you haven't had the chance to do so yet, now would be the perfect time to subscribe or follow our podcast as a free way to support us. And another great way to support us is to leave a nice rating and review. 5 stars if you don't mind. 5 stars. And you can do that on our website or Apple Podcasts or Spotify or other podcast service. And then you can also follow us and see pictures of the wines we're tasting and trying today and crazy AI pictures on Instagram at The Wine Pair Podcast. And you can contact us on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com, and you can sign up for our email newsletter there. And we just sent out our our July newsletter. And if you didn't get it, you can email me and I'll send it to you at joe@thewinepairpodcast.com. And again, we want to make content that you care about. So send us a note.
Right.
Tell us what you want to hear.
Right.
Tell us what you don't want to hear.
Right.
Whatever you want, tell us.
You can just tell us.
You can just tell us.
Our ears, we have listening ears on.
And Carmela will ask if you want feedback or not.
Right. I will try and be considerate.
Yes.
And I will ask you because I can launch into feedback, but I'm trying to say, hey.
It's really true.
Do you want listening ears on, or do you want actual feedback?
That's so good. It's so good. And as we do every week, we'll tell you someone we think you should recommend the Wine Pair podcast to so we can keep growing our listeners. And this week, we want you to recommend us to anyone who loves Greece, either the musical or the country.
True.
Or who calls those Greek sandwiches gyros instead of gyros.
God. I mean, that is when people get mixed up.
I get mixed up.
I mean, so I just kind of use it interchangeably. Like I'll just sort of say
you want a gyro
or a euro.
We don't need another euro. Okay,
that's a whole different show.
Okay, Carmela, let's learn just what the Agiorgitiko is. Let's. Of all the Greek wines, Agiorgitiko, and again, it's spelled Agiorgitiko. It's probably the one. Agiorgitiko. Mm-hmm. It's probably the one that is the easiest to find in the United States.
Thank God, because it's so hard to say.
I agree. And you can find it at Total Wine, of all places. And don't get me started on Total Wine. I mean, I need to buy wines there more often because I know people buy wines there, but I don't love Total Wine. But they do have Greek wine, so if you have to, you can go there.
Okay.
But we'll do like a mini-sode on Total Wine at some point and why I have an opinion about it. Okay. But anyway, back to the subject. Mm-hmm. Agiorgitiko is translated as Saint George's grape. Oh. And I will say Saint George is all over the place in Europe and Greece and where Saint George is everywhere.
Right.
England, Spain.
He's a good guy.
He's a guy. He's a guy. Now, the wine was originally called the blood of Hercules.
What?
So that's cool. You got Saint George, you got Hercules.
I don't understand.
Well, because in the ancient Greek time, they didn't have Saint George.
Oh.
Because it's been a long...
Okay, you can cut that out.
Oh, no, that one's staying.
No.
Okay, the wine is most famously...
Again, script. I need the script.
Oh, no, you need to put your listening ears on. Now, the wine is most famously from the area of... She's just shaking her head. From the area of Nemea, which I'm probably also saying wrong, in the Peloponnese, which I'm also probably saying wrong, which is the famous peninsula in the south of Greece where the cities of Sparta! And Corinth and Argos were located. Mm. And about 80% of the vineyards in Nemea, I'm not sure how to say it, grow Agiorgitiko grapes. So 80%. So they grow a lot of Agiorgitiko. Mm-hmm. Now, it's a grape that likes heat, but evidently does best at higher altitudes where it can cool off at night. I like that too.
Right.
So I can connect.
Perfect
I can connect. Yeah. That's right. I guess it's also a bit of a problematic grape, which is also
has
similar.
An attitude?
Yeah, a little bit. Because it ripens late, like me, a late bloomer.
Late bloomer, exactly. You're such a late bloomer.
I know.
What?
I know. And it doesn't I'm still blooming. And it doesn't do really well with water stress. So a lot of great wine grapes like to be stressed out by water. I guess.
We're just stressing
don't like
out these grapes.
So it's a sensitive grape, I guess. And it's also susceptible to disease.
Oh, God.
It's just a big baby.
The system is just shot.
It's just a big baby.
Yeah, poor thing. It needs a little TLC.
I guess, Agiorgitiko. I think it's... Anyway, according to a number of articles, which, by the way, you can find in our show notes, Carmela. Did you know we have show notes?
Wait, we have show notes.
Yes. On our website, thewinepairpodcast.com, and click on the link to the show. You can scroll down and find our show. I know. But Agiorgitiko is a very versatile grape. So while it's sensitive, it's also versatile. I was
going to say, wait a minute.
It can be made into a lot of different styles, soft and fruity, spicy and tannic. They also make rosé from Agiorgitiko.
No wonder it's stressed out.
I know. It's decide.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Holy cow.
Anyway.
It wears a lot of hats.
It does. Anyway, we did taste the rosé in a Valentine's episode on rosés a few years ago, and we did like it. We gave it an 8 out of 10. Oh. And it was from a 2021 Gaia, that's how you say it. It looks like Gaia, but the producer is Gaia, which is another thing I've been pronouncing wrong. It was their 14 to 18 hour Agiorgitiko rosé. Okay. And we actually have a Gaia wine today, but there you go. We'll talk about that in a minute. Now, according to some experts, the best examples of Agiorgitiko tend to have moderate to low acidity, red fruit tastes and smells, and spiciness. And there are styles that are more jammy, which tend to come from warmer areas, and more acidic, which tend to come from cooler and higher altitudes. So from a style standpoint, I think, sometimes Agiorgitiko is compared to Sangiovese, but my feeling is that the average is going to be a bit more like Cabernet Sauvignon or Bordeaux style, just because I think the tendency is to make the more jammy style than the kind of more acidic Sangiovese. Because Cabernet and Bordeaux style wine, they don't have as much acidity.
Okay. Oh, right.
Now, there is no cru classification in Greece. There's nothing like that. So for now, it looks like we'll just have to research on who the experts say are the best producers and decide for ourselves what
Which
we
one?
think is good or not.
Right. We're going to give it that rating.
That rating, exactly. And so on that note, as we have said before, our palate tends to prefer less fruit forward, less jammy, less oaky wines. By the way, we tend not to like wines that a Robert Parker would like. So if you like Robert Parker as a wine critic, that's a wine critic, by the way, you probably won't agree with a lot of our wine tasting, but that's okay. It's neither here nor there.
It's fine.
The idea is you align up your palate to ours and you agree or disagree, and then you know if you trust us or agree with us or not. If we like a wine, you may not like it.
More like agree or not.
Exactly.
You don't have to trust us. It's not about trust necessarily.
It's not about trust.
Not in this relationship.
It's about faith.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
I like it. Okay.
We're just going to go with it.
Okay.
We're going to go with it. Okay. What do you say we learn a little bit more about the wines that we bought for this episode today, Carla?
Let's.
All right. So as usual, the wines we have chosen for this episode are under $20, although one of them was on sale, which is why it was under $20, but that's okay. Sales are good.
Right.
You should look for sales.
Right. A special is special.
Yeah. Don't always buy things at full price.
Right.
Sometimes buy them on sale.
Why would you?
Exactly. And both of them should be relatively easy to find because I bought them both at wine.com. And again, while I don't think Agiorgitiko is going to be the easiest wine in the world to find, if you go to a wine shop with a decent selection or with a Greek wine section, you're going to find Agiorgitiko. Okay. It's not super hard to find, but like in your general grocery store without a great wine section, you might not find it.
Okay, good to know.
So the first wine we're trying is the Gaia. It's spelled Gaia, but it's pronounced Gaia Monograph Agiorgitiko. And Gaia is a pretty large producer in Greece, so you might find their wines on the shelf. And like I said, again, we already had one. There was a tech sheet for this wine, which I always like. And they even say the right way to pronounce the name, which is, I'm probably saying it wrong. Gaia. Maybe it's Gaia. Okay. And that's how I actually realized that I was saying Agiorgitiko wrong. Because I was like,
the tech sheet?
Yes, because I'm like, the G's. A lot of times they don't use the J sound of G.
Okay.
Now, they say that their wines are grown at about 1,800 feet where it's relatively cool, and they call out that this wine has good tannins and a balance of acidity. So because of the altitude and the climate, I am expecting this wine to be a little bit more Sangiovese-like. Actually, wine enthusiasts compared it to a Beaujolais,
nice.
Which is a Gamay wine. Mm-hmm. So it could be fruity and juicy and lighter.
Okay.
And then another reason why I think that it'll be kind of more of a Sangiovese style is because the wines are fermented and stored in stainless steel.
Nice.
They're not oaked.
Okay.
So they have almost no residual sugar, despite the fact that they're not super high in alcohol. So only 12.5% alcohol. And then also this wine is vegan if that's important to you. So the second wine we're going to drink and review today is the 2021 Skouras Saint George Agiorgitiko. And since Agiorgitiko is already in the name and it means Saint George, I feel like they're saying the name twice.
Oh my.
It's like Saint George's wine, Saint George's. I don't know.
It's okay.
Say it twice. Believe it.
Right.
Maybe it just means emphatic.
If it's that good. Say it twice.
Say it twice.
Yeah.
You don't have to just say it once.
I'm not bothered.
Okay. This wine also had good information on the website, which is helpful. And they say the wine is fermented.
Really?
It actually did.
But of course you have to call it out.
Fermented.
Yeah.
Because I always pronounce things correctly.
Except for Greek wines. I can't believe you. You know what? Give these people a break.
I'm a jerk, aren't I?
No.
This is it.
You just, sometimes.
So it's a karma that's coming for me. Okay, the wine is fermented and macerated in stainless steel, and then it's aged in used French barriques for 12 months, and then 6 more months in the bottle. So it ages longer. There should be some oak, but since they're using used French oak, it probably won't be super overpowering. It'll probably be a little bit more mellow, but they are using barriques. Those are smaller barrels, so there'll be oak in it. There'll be oak on this one, not like the other one. Again, they aged the wine longer than the Gaia. The alcohol is much higher at 13.9%. And so I'm expecting this to be, I'm expecting these two wines to be different.
Yeah.
I'm expecting the second wine, the Skouras, to be maybe a little bit more like Bordeaux or Merlot like, Cabernet Sauvignon like, and maybe the Gaia to be a little bit more like a Sangiovese. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Again, Sangiovese is Chianti. The wine grape in Chianti. Anyway, I think that's enough information. I think it's time to get to drinking. What do you say?
I'm down.
Okay, so for those of you out there in listening land, if you have an Agiorgitiko or other Greek wine or just other red wine that you want to taste and drink along with us so you can get participation points, please do that. And we'll be right back. Okay, we are back, and Carmela is making comments about the wine bottle, the label.
Look,
she's saying it's racy,
it's a little racy
and dirty.
I didn't say dirty.
I think it's more modern.
I just said it was like a
lot.
WTF.
A WTF, which is appropriate for the episode.
Yeah, they're kind of getting a little, I don't know. It's very sweet. It could be very sweet, but
why
they're
did
naked.
two people naked? Why is that dirty?
Well, I mean, I just guess I'm not understanding it, but it's fine.
It's modern art.
Look,
it's modern art.
Bodies are beautiful.
They are beautiful, no matter what the size.
I mean, it's just, the size is fine, too.
Yes, okay.
Anyway,
shape,
I never
or form.
said it was dirty.
Can I talk about the wine now?
Yeah.
Okay, the first one we're going to drink is the Gaia Monograph Agiorgitiko. It's from Nemea, Greece. This is a 2022. It was $15.99 at wine.com.
Okay.
As I mentioned, 12.5% alcohol, 100% Agiorgitiko, as I expect it to be, and at least as far as I know. And Wine Enthusiast gave it a 90, and it's a screw cap.
Okay.
We like that. But Carmela, what are you smelling?
Well, I'm getting some cherry.
It's very juicy and fruity smelling.
It is very. But I'm also getting, it is juicy. But I'm getting some warm, maybe some baking spices on it too. And even like dried fruit, like currant.
I think you're spot on.
Really?
I'm even getting a little bit, maybe, did you say dried currant?
Yeah.
Yeah, dried currant. I agree, like raisiny or dried. But it's very cherry smelling too.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I'm getting some good depth, like a little smoke or, almost leathery or wood kind of smell in there. But nice, like really nice.
A really nice bouquet.
But it's kind of fresh smelling. It is a little bit Gamay-like in that respect.
I wonder how this would be kind of cooler.
Chilled.
Yeah.
I think it might be good, kind of chilled. Anything else? I'm going to swirl it. Because sometimes, when we swirl the wines, you kind of get a different...
It's a pretty wine too. The color is really pretty. It's like a nice red, bright red, not like cloudy. Sometimes these can be a little cloudy.
It's a pretty wine. I think when you swirl it, you get a little bit more, maybe more like incense or smoke or something on it. Okay, well, let's try it and see what we think. Oh, it's very fruity.
It's fruity, jammy, almost like a stewed cherry or like a cherry jam.
But then it's like very tannic too.
Yeah.
Like it's super dry off the tongue and it's super tannic. But it's like, it hits you. It's tart. I think it's kind of tart too.
I'm not finding it like lingering either.
No, that's what I'm saying. A lot of tannins.
Right. Yeah, which I like. I don't like it. Again, you're not getting the oak on it.
No oak.
Obviously.
But it's got, obviously the grape skins have a lot of tannin in them. They're not getting it from a barrel or anything like that.
No.
It's I think you're right. I think if it was chilled,
I think it would be nice.
It could be really nice. Yeah. And you might tamp down on that tannin because it does get a little bit bitter at the end. Not bad, but bitter. And it's pretty tart up front.
It is. I mean, it almost tastes a little young. It's nice. What would you eat with
Well,
this?
I was going to say, I feel like I'm tasting a little plum on it. A little plum.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Like a red plum, I think.
I mean, I'm curious, would you have a gyro or a gyro?
I would probably have a gyro. But we don't need another gyro.
No,
okay.
True. We got you, babe.
I actually think this would be excellent with Greek food, like Mediterranean food.
Right.
Like I think falafel, gyro meat, the gyro meat, those kinds of things. I think it'd be really good.
Souvlaki,
Souvlaki,
it's so
Greek
juicy, like a nice juicy pork or
chicken or something. Greek salad would be really good. But I also think you could do pizza with this. I think you could do Italian foods with this. I actually think it would hold up okay to like a lasagna or something of that nature.
Something kind of salty too, like a puttanesca would be good.
I think it'd be really good. Yeah. I do. I think this is a pretty versatile wine. The jamminess on it makes it, or like the fruity in the front, I don't know if it would do awesome with like a really thick, juicy steak. I'm kind of feeling like it's a little bit more grilled meats. Chicken would be really good with it.
I think it's kind of a summer wine.
I agree. I'm totally with you.
Yeah, I mean,
out by the sun, on the Greek islands.
Right. Ooh,
right?
yeah.
Getting a suntan.
Yeah. Are you ready?
I've never been to Greece.
You love it.
I would love it.
So
although
beautiful.
I have been reading articles lately that people are like, oh man, like Santorini overrun. It's overrun.
Oh well, I mean,
tourists.
people went people go there. They love it, right?
Well, you heard about like we were in Barcelona about a month ago, and did you see this article?
I don't know.
Where people were squirting, the people in Barcelona are so tired of the tourists. They had this group of people that were squirting squirt guns at the tourists.
No, just squirt guns.
Yeah, but they're just like tired of them all. I don't know. I get it. I mean,
truly, yeah. We don't have that same experience.
No, not here.
No, not in most places. I mean, like
not in our house. Let's
just say, sometimes people do they're kind of,
hanging out,
because of
the tiling that I'm doing in the backyard.
Oh my
new hobby. Okay, so as a reminder on our rating scale, because we're going to rate this wine, we rate on a scale of 1 to 10, where 7 and above means that we would buy it, and a 4 or below means that we're going to pour it down the sink, and a 5 or a 6 means we'll drink it, we'll finish it, we're probably not going to buy it, and no halvesies. No, we only do whole numbers. So this is a tough one.
Yeah.
I can see you kind of like you're looking up in the sky. I feel the same way. Like, well, I'm definitely on the I'm going to buy it side.
Right. I'm definitely a 7. I'm kind of verging on a 7-8. I know we can't do
7-8. You can't do 7.5.
I know, but so it is one of those tricky ones for me.
It's definitely the buy. Like I would buy this wine.
Yeah,
and for like a party, like I think it'd be really good for a summer party.
I mean, adult only party with this label.
Well,
it's an adult only wine. Yeah, wine is only for adults.
I know, but you don't want the kids to see the boobies.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Can't say that. That'll be bleeped out.
She's got a circular one and a square one. I'm serious.
Are you sure that's a woman?
No, I don't know.
Okay, so anyway, what rating are you going to... Yeah, it's probably a woman. What rating are you going to give that wine?
Okay.
There is one circular one and one square one.
It's art. You said it was art.
It is art.
This is art. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to do it.
I love it. I love it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to initially give it a 7.
Okay.
I really like it. I'm enjoying it. I'm going to drink this wine. I would buy this wine. I'm not sure that I'd give it... I don't... it's not...
You wouldn't give it as a gift?
Oh, no, I might, depending on the person. I'm not like, I'm not over the moon about it, but I really like it. So
I also think
it's a great wine.
It will please a lot of palates. Like, I'm not going to go, it's a crowd pleaser, which I think it is. But I do think it's like somebody like me who doesn't gravitate towards big, bold red wines. I think this is a really smooth.
It's good.
Very
I changed
tasty.
My rating. I'm giving it 8.
No way!
I tried it again. I'm giving it 8. It's a great wine.
Okay.
It's very good. It's very good wine.
Did I just convince you there?
You did, Vince. Okay, we're going to take a break, and we're going to try our last wine. We only have 2 today.
Right.
Okay. Be right back. Okay, we are back and we are ready to try our last wine. This is the Skouras Saint George Agiorgitiko, again from Nemea, Greece. This is a 2021. It was $19.99 on sale at wine.com. 13.9% alcohol, as we mentioned, so high alcohol. Agiorgitiko, 100%. And wine enthusiasts gave this an 89. And the first thing I'll say off the bat is a much more subdued label, but also much darker in the glass. Much darker wine in the glass. Not as like transparent
but pretty, but very pretty still.
And the smell is pretty rich.
It's really rich. Like it's actually
smoky, a little more like I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Go.
But I'm getting like smoke, wood, tobacco, definitely red fruit. Like it's not quite a black cherry. I kind of want to say like a black plum maybe, but I'm also getting some pepper on it.
I'm getting some spiciness, but I can't put my finger on. Almost like baking spices, but like specifically clove. I think.
Ooh, you think it's on the? I kind of feel like it's on the more hot spice end.
Oh, like a little, I mean, I can get behind that too, like a little bit of paprika it is like something that's maybe
hot,
even cayenne. I mean, there's just
that's what I'm thinking.
It's almost like warms your nose.
I think it's a red hot spice, not a clovey.
I mean,
kind
no,
of spice.
but cloves can kind of have a little bit of that heat to it, actually, too. You know,
I'm getting a little bit of brambliness, like leaves. It's that sort of like almost like blackberry bramble. Why don't we say that? Blackberry bramble.
Okay. I'm getting, this is just really, it's like an explosion in my nose.
It's a lot. I mean, it's pretty rich and deep, I feel like. A lot of complexity.
Maybe even like a little like vanilla extract.
I like that.
Maybe, and that could be the heat, the alcohol too, that I'm kind of getting too, behind it. I don't know.
I wonder if it's a little bit of like currant too, like dark, like black currant, and fresh, not dried. Okay, well, let's try it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's this is, to me, I was expecting this. It's Merlot-like to me.
It's tart.
Really?
I'm getting some tart.
I think it's pretty warm, and I think it's got a kind of much more of a lush mouthfeel to me than the Gaia.
Makes me want to cough.
Really? I feel
I mean, not in a bad way. It's
I feel
just
like it's bigger bodied. I feel like it's more Merlot-like.
Okay. Yeah, let me see.
I think if you like bigger red wines, I think you would like this.
Yeah, this is like having a bowl of fruit.
Yeah, it's very fruity. I think it's very plum. It's very plum. It's very black fruit. Not red fruits, but black fruit. It's got spice on it. It's got pepper. It's got a little leather
The blackberry part I'm getting behind, like a really ripe blackberry.
Yes. See, I said it. Blackberry bramble. I think that it's very, and there's a little bit of like stone on it, a little bit of like clay pot, maybe.
Sure.
Like you're licking those flower pots? Like you licked a flower pot.
The last time I licked a flower pot.
But you know what I'm getting at? It's got kind of that like clay.
Yeah, a little earthiness.
Look, I've been spending a lot of time with ceramic tiles.
I know, true.
Let me tell you, I know the smell.
Yeah, a little influenced by that.
Yeah. That Barcelona trip, it just took me.
Took you by storm.
Yeah, Gaudi. I've got Gaudi on the brain.
Right.
Anyway.
Sleep, eat, drink, Gaudi. Ooh, what are you going to eat with this, honey?
This is a very versatile wine. But I think it's a steak wine.
I do too. I think you can do a juicy steak.
Juicy.
Everything's about juicy tonight.
Yeah. I think it's very versatile though. I could see it with pasta. I could see it with pizza. I could see it with steak. I could see it with burgers. I could see it with Mexican food. I could see it with a lot of foods. I think this is very versatile.
What about eggs and bacon?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I don't know
and toast.
For whatever reason.
Little egg and bacon. You want an egg on toast? You want an egg on toast?
A little egg on toast.
An egg McMuffin. It would go great with you know what would go great with?
What?
A sausage McMuffin with egg.
For some reason, it's just egg on toast.
But no, I think actually grilled sausages would be great.
They'd be really, and peppers, like you could think like grilled peppers with grilled sausage would be delicious.
That would be great. And I think
onion.
What about a gyro?
A gyro would be delicious.
Falafel?
But a gyro?
Not so good.
Not as good.
I think, so this kind of is what I thought it would be, which is we have two very different wines made from the same grape, the same area of Greece, and it's a great example of how you can get very different styles even from the same grape. But I will say overall, I am kind of surprised by how much I'm liking both of these wines, even though this second wine...
You were kind of not so sure about the second.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be very much our style. Like the oakiness is nice. Like it's got a nice oakiness to it. It's balanced. And I don't think it tastes like it's 13.9% alcohol.
No, I don't either.
I think it's a very good wine. Like I'm super happy with both of these wines. What rating would you give this wine?
Okay, so I am really enjoying it.
It's a little less your style.
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to give it a 7 because I do like the first one better.
Okay.
So I'm going to give it a 7, but a strong 7.
I feel like I need to give it a 9 just to balance you out. I mean, this is a very good wine. I'm giving it an 8 for sure.
Okay.
But I'm on the verge of giving it a 9. It's a great wine. It's I would say of the two wines, this is the wine that you would give to a big red wine lover. They would like this wine. It feels a little bit Italian to me, this wine.
But it's Greek, honey.
I know, it's all Greek to me. But no, it's a very good wine.
Yeah.
I'm almost feeling like maybe I should give it a 9, but I'm not. I'm going to hold off for I'm going to take another sip and see what I think.
Okay.
I'm going to stick with the 8. It's a very good wine, though. I'm really enjoying it.
And they both smell so nice.
They do. This is a good
They're
wine.
very well-rounded. I mean, as sensitive as they are, these grapes.
It is a sensitive grape. Give
you
it a
know
break,
what?
though.
That's
Sometimes
what I mean.
if you let a sensitive grape, blossom, you let it go.
Right.
It will come into its own. It will be a beautiful thing. Don't be a jerk to it.
Open yourself up to those sensey types.
Exactly. Sometimes they're worth the wait.
Oh,
like me. Okay, Carmela, which of these 2 wines are you finishing tonight?
Okay, so I will go with the first one, but I would happily drink this too.
I'm really torn because I feel like it depends on what we're going to eat for dinner tonight.
Oh.
But maybe just to be fair, I'll give you the Gaia and I'll take the Skouras. How about that?
Sounds perfect.
Okay, well, let's talk about the taste profiles that we would expect from Agiorgitiko. Okay. The Wine Paradigm website says rich and refined with aromas of red and black fruits, herbs, and spice, followed by rich flavors of plum, red cherry, blackberry, along with spicy pepper and oaky notes. It's exactly what we were tasting. Wine Folly says raspberry. I didn't. Maybe on the first one, blackberry, plum sauce, black pepper, and nutmeg. Oh, so that's interesting.
Yeah, but it's
would
different.
Would you say nutmeg?
I would say nutmeg. Yeah, I mean clove is different, but definitely part of the same. I mean, you use them together a lot. You use them in tandem all the time. I actually
like nutmeg better than clove because I think clove is really fragrant and flowery, and I don't think nutmeg is quite as much.
Right. Nutmeg is a little nuttier.
Okay, so for the Yaya, the winery said this red purple wine has a fruit-forward, medium-bodied palate, ripe with flavors of cherry, pomegranate, and a hint of butterscotch. Oh, that's interesting. Easygoing, smooth, soft tannins, fruity finish. I agree with that. Wine Enthusiast says a bright, easy drinking dry red wine. I agree with that. With infinite food pairing potential. Totally agree with that. Juicy red wine. Agree with that. Is a good bottle to suggest to the cru Beaujolais lover looking for something new. I totally agree with that. There are tart raspberries, blackberries, and sour cherries bursting on the palate. Agree. Long finish is tart with a lovely tannic texture. So I thought there were a lot of tannins, but I didn't think it had a long finish. I think it dried off.
I did too.
But a lot of tannins. And it does say served with a slight chill. Interesting, huh? The Skouras, the winery says the nose reveals aromas of blackberries, raspberries, and ripe strawberries. Just a touch of tobacco, which I said, spices such as clove and cinnamon. A medium-bodied wine with elegant structure, balanced acidity, very ripe, elegant tannins, red fruits, and followed by sweet vanilla and black pepper.
Wow.
I think you said vanilla.
I did. I said clove and vanilla.
Okay, wine enthusiast. The first word, clove. Clove.
I know. It was coming through. Saint George.
Clove, thyme, and dried fennel aromas.
Okay, like an anise.
With fruity black cherry notes on the nose. The light-bodied palate has ripe red and black fruits plus faint cinnamon flavors. Their results are easy drinking and enjoyable, balanced fruit and acid followed by velvety tannins on the long finish. So I agree. I think actually we did pretty well. I think we got a lot of these flavors and textures, and I think these are good wines.
Are really good.
I think
very tasty.
Winner, man. Like what the
why are we not drinking these?
This is on the list now. Agiorgitiko.
You're on the list. I mean, it's a good thing to be on the list now.
I agree. I wasn't so sure that I was going to like it, but I'm really liking this wine.
I am too.
So go out and get it. Greece is the word.
It's okay. That's right. And it's okay if you can't pronounce it. Don't you worry.
We won't.
Even if Joe can't pronounce it.
I'll judge you, but nobody else will.
No, right. He will judge
Except for your Greek cousin. Your Greek cousin will be like, hey, it's Agiorgitiko. That sounds Italian, but the Greeks are a little bit Italian-like. So there you go. All right. So Carmela, it's time for us to go. But before we do, we want to thank you very much for listening to us. And if you haven't done so yet, now would be the perfecto time to subscribe to our podcast or follow our podcast and leave us a nice rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. 5 stars, please. It's free. So just, do it. We'd also love to hear from you about a wine that you'd like us to taste and review or a region you want us to try wines from or whatever. So you can leave a message for us on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com. You can join our email newsletter there. You can always email us at joe@thewinepairpodcast.com. You can DM us on Instagram. You can text us through whatever app that you're using. There's a little text link if you're using a podcast app to text us, and follow us on Instagram. But with that, we're going to sign off and we're going to say thank you again. And we'll see you next time. And like we like to say, life is short, so stop drinking shitty wine. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And the happy ending at the end of our story. Always think too much.